Hi, how'd it go? They did what? You did? I can't take any credit for that. I'm just so proud of you. You know, this is what life looks like when you're tapped into your authenticity and equally aligned with your intuition. Remember, Mom always taught us to trust our guts. You're listening to Hey Big Sister with me, Meg. There's a different way to run your life and your business. One that allows you to truly connect with people on a human level. No more icky sales, no more comparisonitis, just you taking mindful, intentional, messy action to create success that you can be proud of. Let this episode be your guide. For the next few minutes, open your mind to new possibilities. And don't forget to pour me a little grace. I'm just like you, except I picked up the mic and started talking about all the things that go on in both of our heads. If this episode hits home for you, it would mean the world to me to have you leave the podcast a 5-star rating and written review. Also, could you do me a favor and text the link to this episode onto 3 of your best friends? You know, I'm a real human behind this mic, and I actually want to connect with you. Click the show notes below to connect with me on social media. I would love if you sent me a DM with your takeaway from this episode. You are family now. Here we go. Phew, what a week it has been. Welcome back to Hey Big Sister. This is round 2. I recorded the first version a few weeks ago. I submitted it to my podcast manager and then found out that only 12 seconds of it was recorded, and then subsequently realized that that happened with the rest of the episodes that I recorded. So this happened in a week where I was already really behind in my podcast submissions. My life felt very busy, and I also had to travel. So needless to say, I wanted to cry. Mix in being 5 days before the start of my period, and then some tears really were shed. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about what I did in order to hold myself through that. I took a deep breath. I gave myself a break. I wanted to push through and record all 4 podcasts that I lost back to back, but I knew I'd be exhausted, and I knew that the quality wouldn't be where I wanted them to be. So for a few minutes, I got in my head. I said, maybe this is too much for me. Maybe this is a bad time to be having a podcast. Maybe I should wait until next year. But I really love putting this podcast out into the world. I'm so committed to getting better and better at it. And I just know that this is part of the process. Things are going to go wrong, right? Things will get messy. But it's what I do when that happens that's like the most important to me. The ability to hold ourselves through challenge is the real mark of a leader, in my opinion. How can I ask my clients to push past the hard parts if I can't do that myself? So today's episode is going to be about how I hold myself through the challenging times. I'm going to leave you with 3 tips on how I really prepare myself, because I know that those hard times are going to happen. Instead of dreading them, I just put practices in place so that when they do come up, I'm less apt to just burn everything down and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm more apt to tune into what I really need in the moment. I really understand that challenges will continue to occur in life, that I'm going to make mistakes. And I want to ask myself, how can I keep the momentum going and not make the challenges or the mistakes mean anything about myself personally? And that's what I challenge you to do today as well. Look at how you can support yourself during those hard times, and how can you not make them mean anything about you? How can you trust that it's all always working for you? And that can sound a little bit like, I could name a bunch of times where I feel like the world was not working for me. But I think that it's a perspective shift that we can practice and that we can get into when things aren't moving as quickly as we want them to, or we keep encountering problems. We can give ourselves the gift of saying, what am I learning from this? what am I going to learn that's going to like help me amplify my business in the future? All those different ways about kind of looking at it in a more positive way. So here are my 3 tips for walking yourself through challenges. The first one is to surround yourself with people that will support you and be positive. People that will be honest, yes, that's important. But sometimes you just need 1 or 2 little positive comments to push you to keep going. So I always say to get yourself a biz bestie that you can lean on, or somebody like your partner that you can teach how to support you during business challenges. We are not brought up in a society that really trains you to be an entrepreneur. We are brought up in a society that trains us to be an employee. And being an entrepreneur and being a leader of a company is a different mindset shift. And you have to find ways to support yourself during the times that don't look like other people's work experiences. Other people in business, other entrepreneurs, they usually get it. They understand that like all businesses have ups and downs. They don't, just because one thing goes wrong doesn't mean that you have to like throw everything away and just give up your business. So they usually know that the ups and downs are going to happen, and they can tell you that it's going to get better and that they have been there. And sometimes that's all you need, just knowing that somebody else has come out the other side. I've also had to tell Matt, my husband, certain things that he can say to help me stay positive. Because if he goes down the path of, well, maybe you just need to take a break, that's a no-go for me. I know that sometimes I just need some witnessing and saying like, yeah, this is challenging, but you've always figured it out. You can do it. Things like that really help me to just keep going. I'm really confident that I can handle a lot. I've made it through all of the hard things that have happened in my life so far. What would make me believe that I can't get through something else? What would make me believe that I can't keep pushing on just because I lost a podcast episode, right? I can sit down, I can re-record. Maybe I have to go a week without one. Like all of these things are figure outable. My business is my passion and it's my heart, and it's something that I want to always be out in the world. And I've always decided that I'm working this until it works in all aspects. It means that my business is always going to be a part of me, even if I royally mess up, even if it feels really, really challenging. It will always be here, and I'll always figure out what I need to do in order for it to thrive. So I need to be surrounded by people that believe in that too. Tip number 2 is to prioritize your healing, especially nervous system work. So things like therapy, coaching, movement, energy work, meditation, all of these modalities have helped me bring more healing into my life. I have always tended to be a rather anxious person. I'm a perfectionist, historically, really worried about the approval of others. Digging into healing work has allowed me to see why I have some of these behaviors, and it has helped me move through them so I can show up in my business and my life willing to take risks and confident that I will be able to figure out anything that's going to go wrong. So learning how to create more calm in my life and how my nervous system responds when it's activated has helped me create a toolbox that helps me be less reactive in moments of stress. So when challenges pop up, I can reassure my body that I am safe and that nothing dangerous is happening. So when our nervous system is activated and we go into fight, flight, or freeze response, our body reacts. And this doesn't allow us to make decisions from our logical brain. We default to the animal part of our brain. And that sometimes has us saying things like, screw it all, I'm never showing up on social media again if we get a negative comment or we feel like we messed up in the marketing of a new program. So I have challenge myself to take risks and make mistakes so that I see that my nervous system can handle that and I don't have to respond right in the moment. I can carry myself through and then think logically about a plan. And then the third tip is to separate my worthiness from the success of my business. So this is a challenging one. So often we get wrapped up in the numbers and the accomplishments. If we tie our ego to the success of our business, then we also tie our ego to the quote unquote failures of our business. I've learned to not make anything about business personal. the launch flops, then I just look at how can I use this information moving forward? How can I use this to better serve my audience or community? But I don't let it mean that I'm a bad coach or a bad business owner. This helps a lot. And it takes time to cultivate this as a practice. I know that I am good and worthy and successful no matter what happens in my business or my life. Like nothing that we can do outside of who we are is going to say we are more or less worthy. Mistakes are going to occur. Pivots in business are going to happen. Changes are going to be made, and it's all okay. This has taken a lot of subconscious work. I've done hypnosis, journaling, affirmations. I've really tried to restructure my neural pathways because, something negative happens and everything's going to go wrong, everything's bad. And I have really practiced in that moment when I see that negative talk track happening, stopping and saying like, thank you, brain, you are trying to keep me safe and I appreciate that, but I choose not to believe that. I also tend to really ask myself, is this the ultimate truth? Just like this experience, like I'm sharing about the podcast, when I realized that I could not get back the full recording. And I said, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I asked myself, is this the ultimate truth? Because this one technological glitch happened during Mercury in retrograde, mind you, I should have known better. Does that mean that I should just, pack it up and not do it? No, that's not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is that things are going to happen and you can just jump right back in and start again. I really hope that these tips resonate with you. Your dreams are so important and your business is going to change the world. The more you build your confidence in the discomfort and the challenge, the easier it will be to continue to have momentum in whatever you are working towards. I hope that this leaves you with just looking at something and pushing through and knowing that whatever you put out in the world, even though it might feel challenging in this very moment, is going to help somebody else. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. I would love to see you share about it on social media and tag me in it so I can respond to you and just connect, because you're not alone. We are not alone in these challenges. And it's really nice to know that other people are walking the same path as us and, doing the hard thing, right? Surrounding ourselves with other people that are choosing to do the hard thing is really, really important. So until next time, let's hope that the technology gods are on my side, and I will talk to you soon. Before you go, do me a favor and leave a 5-star rating and written review. The more we connect, the more the world is connected. As I love to say to all of my groups and my clients, rising tides lift all boats. See you next week.